That's fair. Okay. Pain that's cured with gold. How about a toothache? Dentist would fill cavities with gold, and it would cause your toothache and pain to stop.
Back in the day.
Yeah, but Dave and John aren't spring chickens. I guarantee I'm willing
close to your age.
I am willing to bet $10 to John's charity of choice that he's had a filling in his life of gold.
No.
Okay.
You're kidding.
No, John, if you please respond, $10 to a charity of your choice. I will donate to bachelors with alopecia.
Hello and welcome to the 2024 Poem Treasure Hunt. You are here on Cash Me Outside. I'm Caden, joined with Christian and Chad, and man, it has been a while. Welcome back, guys.
Guys, it's so good to be back. I've missed you.
I've missed this.
I haven't seen you since our last episode.
Let me tell you what I really love about this podcast.
Yeah.
I don't have to really prepare, look into and research and set up all these cameras and stuff. We can just come and know that Christian's going to make some sexual innuendos.
Mm-hmm. I got
and
three,
we're
I got
all
three in the
laugh.
chamber. You know what I mean?
It's
okay, go ahead.
Off to a quick start. Anyways, yeah, that's what I like about it. It's just so much easier, more conversational. I'm excited.
And so I think what Chad's referring to is the fact, if you don't know, we have multiple podcasts as part of the Cash Me Outside podcast network. It just sounds cool to say that.
We have never called it that.
The Cash Me Outside universe is
expanding. So if you are interested in our other podcasts we're doing as part of the Cash Me Outside, we have a Lost Treasure series where we discuss and explore and dive deep into a famous treasure that has been lost and hidden. And last season we looked into Montezuma's treasure, and this year we are exploring a treasure. What's it called?
The Lost Dutchman's Gold.
The Lost Dutchman's Gold. So if you're interested in that, feel free to go to our Spotify and you can check it out. You'll see that it has a different caption, like a different title and a different image to make it clear that's different from the Utah Treasure Hunt series.
Yeah, we really don't want people to get confused between the two, so we might bring that up a couple different times.
Yeah, if you love Caden, he's only on this podcast. You can only get Caden here.
I'm only invited to the Utah Treasure Hunt, which
Caden, I will do any podcast with you at any time ever.
Okay, on that note, I think I'm ready to add the third podcast to the podcast conglomerate, the Cash Me Outside conglomerate.
It's not going to be called Cash Me Outside, right?
No, it has to be.
We're not putting it under...
No, it's going to be a Cash Me Outside podcast.
Okay. Oh, yes, okay.
Sherlock Holmes.
A Knives Out story.
I've talked about this before.
Sherlock Holmes.
Yes, it's where we go and try to solve everyday mysteries, like who stole the newspaper off my door, who kissed my cousin. I don't know, just really, I don't know. Or did I kiss my cousin? I don't know. Just really small stakes mysteries that we go hardcore, serial level podcast investigation into determining.
I'm not kidding. You two give me the green light, and I will go all in on doing everything I can to make it happen.
Okay. Anyways, keep your eye out. We might be launching a third podcast. Catch me out. But for now, let's focus on the poem hunt because it's back, baby. It's back.
And we are feeling bueno about it. Right?
Está bien. Chad speaks Spanish. Caden speaks Spanish.
I don't think that's an advantage. I saw someone on John and Dave's post that was like, well, now you've excluded all the English speakers, which I'm like, I honestly don't think it's that important to speak Spanish. No, we have some theories that we'll talk about where it's different connotations, but whatever.
It has to be an advantage, guys. I
don't think it is. Google Translate makes it not an advantage.
Do you want to know the only Spanish I know?
Sure.
Otro misioneros habla más español.
Habla.
Come to your casa.
Come to your casa.
It's a gratis libro. Llame el número aquí. Es gratis libro de mormón. Es bueno.
That was really good.
Thank you. That was good. Okay. You really kept up on that.
Yeah. I practice.
That's pretty funny.
I'm conversational.
How often did it? Yeah, that was pretty good.
As long as that's the conversation. then I'm conversational in Spanish.
Yeah, I mean, we didn't get close, the last poems, and they were in English, so I don't think
We got close.
Stop.
Wait. We've done a little bit of reminiscing here.
That's true.
Well, people do want us to go into the past hunts. Do we wait to do that?
I have
Or do we not do
PTSD. I can't say that. I have
Why?
bad feeling. I just feel like that's making light of real PTSD. But we have like dark and evil. I'm choosing one thing to be sensitive about on this podcast. I was like, wait, what? Of all the things I've been insensitive about, I'm like, I'm not going to go there with PTSD.
Oh man,
it's a post-treasure search disorder.
that's actually really funny.
Okay. No, if you guys remember our
That
last,
might be the title of the.
I don't know. Our last poem hunt. Do you guys remember me? I went
You were
crazy.
manic. You were crazy.
But I literally had the idea of 3 points being triangulated, and I had 2 of the points right.
Like a week before it ended up being solved, right?
Yeah, I just thought it was a perfect triangle, and I was over
you
on
forgot
that
about
one.
the arc math.
It's an arc math. I thought it was a triangle math, which is, that's on me. That's on me. I should have seen the circle on top of the monument. This is the place monument, and been like, yeah, it's 360 degrees. It's arc math.
Anyways, yeah, you're kind of referencing that it was a difficult poem. It was very difficult. I don't know if I want to make this point. I want to make this point. They have a right to make the poem as difficult as they want to. Like, I see people complaining all the time on Reddit and Instagram, whatever it is, that they're like complaining about how hard it is. It's $25,000 of, well, I guess it's not all theirs. They got sponsors and everything, but they're giving this away. They come up with this hunt. We don't communicate with them. This isn't me defending them because I know them super well. It's because I genuinely feel that way. It's their money. They can literally put one word as the clue, and I'll be like, okay.
Yeah, it's just you opt in or you opt out.
Yeah.
So if you are not liking what you've seen in the last couple of years, then don't participate.
Yeah. You're preaching to the coro, I think, here with that.
Oh, that was very nice.
Thank you.
Just coro.
We just took a shortcut straight to the poem.
I took a shortcut straight to the
Does
poem.
the coro mean
Un
gentleman?
atajo.
Un atajo.
You might say.
Un atajo mean gentleman in Spanish? Coro. What does coro mean?
Choir.
Oh, that makes more sense. You're preaching to the choir.
Yeah.
Okay.
We've read the poem.
You thought it was preaching to the gentleman?
I don't know. I just thought he was calling himself a gentleman. Because you're a gentleman, Caden.
Thank you.
How do you say gentleman in Spanish?
Caballero.
Caballero. It is caballero.
Oh, it's like the 3 caballeros.
Sure.
The Three Amigos?
No, it's for Disney. It's not known as well. It's like 3 birds that sing.
Is it one of those racist one that got swept
No.
under the rug?
No. They're okay. Let's talk about the Spanish because
First of all, wait.
Let's yame about it.
Okay, never mind. You keep going. Let's yame about it.
Does yame mean talk?
That means call.
Oh.
Hablar.
Oh, that makes more sense.
I think that's one of the 17 words Christian.
Why is it in Spanish, guys? Ni hombres?
So one thing we talked about this poem is that it was written in Spanish. It wasn't written in English and translated into Spanish because it rhymes. And I think that's something that's mildly important. I don't think it's huge, but I think it's worth calling out here.
See, I disagree. I think it is really big. That it is. So it wasn't like they wrote this all in English and they're like, oh, let's change it to Spanish. And then they just Google Translate it, just like you said. It rhymes in Spanish, so that's what they started. So the reason I think that's important is if there's ever an interpretation of a word that's different, the connotation is different in Spanish than is in English.
Yeah.
You need to defer and err on the side of the Spanish translation of it because that's what it was originally written in.
Right.
And it only went through one translation.
I think
So it's pretty pure.
I think it's an important thing to say. I don't necessarily believe that it is indicative of really anything.
Yeah, it doesn't really
I think it's an
anything.
important note.
Yeah.
In that vein of thinking, I also think it's important to say that I think Dave wrote this with his Spanish because he speaks Spanish, right?
Okay.
I'm fairly certain that Dave speaks
know.
Spanish. He served a Spanish mission or something like that. I don't know why that's in my brain.
Donde?
Un lugar.
Nice.
Anyways,
One lunch.
one thing I
One
noticed,
Lunchable?
my Spanish is so bad. It's been 10 years since I've spoken it. But one thing I did notice is that he switches between to and usted for those Spanish speakers out there. So it's not perfect Spanish. There are some
explain
it like grammatical mistakes.
Explain like this as if I was a Mexican 3-year-old.
They speak fluent Spanish.
Yeah, but just trying to understand the difference between to and usted.
Usted is very formal. It's almost like if I were speaking to you in thou.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Saying thou, even though it's not quite that. That's a different.
You
type.
don't save it for deity. You do it to like as respectful, like older people. You speak as formal.
Exactly.
Okay.
And to is more like people I know super well.
Yeah.
And so usually, if you're speaking in one of those two forms, you're only speaking in that form, unless you're speaking to different people.
So it would be going up to someone and being like, "Hola, cómo está?" or saying, "Hey, qué tal, animal?"
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, no,
Okay.
honestly,
I say that because on my mission, my first week on my
Perfecto.
mission in California, my trainer told me that a normal greeting to people in Spanish on the streets was saying "¿Qué tal, animal?" And I went up to old ladies on the street and I said, "¿Qué tal, animal? Somos misioneros."
Oh, God. I almost just passed out. Holy crap, I didn't even laugh that hard.
Several people,
Oh,
multiple times. "¿Qué tal, animal?"
That is actually hilarious. That's the first time I've ever heard that, and I like that a lot.
Okay.
Anyways, I think that the fact that it's in Spanish is obviously important. I don't think that it's just a layer of deciphering the poem. Like, oh, it's in Spanish, now I have to put it in English, now I translate it, now I go solve it in English.
Yeah.
I think the fact that it is in Spanish is almost more important than an individual solve within the first two lines. I think the fact that it's in Spanish, why is it in Spanish? So we've got people asking us questions on Instagram right now. We'll go over those.
Yeah.
But a lot of them are asking about why it's in Spanish. Spanish fork was the first thing that I thought of, which is a little too on the nose. But
way too on the nose. Like you're
maybe
absolutely
the
right.
trail is a Spanish word.
Yeah.
Like Montana, for example, is a state, but there's like that one would pass you by.
It is
Stop.
a state.
Stop.
No, that's true. That's a good
Stop.
point.
I knew that I was going to say it. I have a good point.
That's an American state, not a Spanish state.
Stop it. Montana is a Spanish word that you would pass by.
What does it mean?
It's montaña, a mountain.
Okay.
So I'm just saying. I'm just.
No,
do you know what I'm talking?
agree.
Do you know what I'm
Yes,
saying? I think there's probably a trailhead that we've all heard.
There is a reason it's in Spanish.
Yeah.
They didn't just do it.
Here's one little hoop you have to jump through to start playing this game. Like,
right.
It's so easy to translate. That's not a big deal. So I agree. I think there's either something in the first 3 to 4 lines, that critical like couplet where you're trying to figure out the trailhead where to start, that has to correlate with Spanish. Spanish is going to fit into one of those first couple lines that you need to think through the Spanish, or it has a Spanish connotation or something related to, like we mentioned.
Yeah.
Or there's something with the whole poem that has a Spanish meaning to it. Like, I don't know if there's like a
hint of
like a very famous Spanish gold treasure that was lost. Montezuma's, yeah, thank you. Or I don't know, maybe, I don't know. I have no idea.
Do we read the poems normally? Should we read the first? We're going to go over the first 4 lines, right? Is that what we decided on?
I think we just read the first 4 lines today.
Let's do that.
And then talk about it. And then our next episode, we'll go over the remainder of the poem.
All right. The first 4 lines translated into English. If you suffer pain that is cured with gold, look for the shortcut where the choir sings. Find the place for which it is named. Where do you learn to smell ice cream?
It's just that one's so out of left field.
I know.
It is a little strange when you read it in English and it doesn't rhyme. But so if this is one of your first times doing one of these treasure hunts, this is our third.
Welcome. It's not too late.
Yeah, welcome to the party.
It's not too late to turn back.
No, come on in.
Hey.
No, I know. But it's going to take over your life for the next 6
Says Caden,
weeks.
who bailed in the middle of last season.
Hey, I'm a poem. It's well documented. I'm a poem hunt
I'm just
guy.
kidding.
Yeah, he's not a QR code guy. No, but if this is new, so what we've learned through doing this a couple times now is the most important part of the poem, by far and away, are the first 2 to 4 lines. Because in the last several poems, that has led you to the starting point, the trailhead, the where you just, the rest of the poem then follows in suit from that.
And
Go ahead.
we go through this. Sorry, what were you going to say?
Oh, I was just... Did you skip the shadow line when you read it in English?
The shadow.
The 4th line? Dale la vuelta. Y
Oh.
sigue la sombra.
Yeah, I did skip that one.
Okay, let's
Turn around and follow the shadow.
read it
Right.
one more time, then.
Yeah.
And it's
Sorry.
complete to form.
If you suffer pain that is cured with gold, look for the shortcut where the choir sings. Is it the fourth line? I skipped it when I wrote it. Is it the fourth or the third?
No, so you read the third and the fifth line.
Okay.
So
find the
find
place
the
for which
place.
it is named,
Yeah.
and then what
And
is it?
then turn around and follow the shadow.
All right, let me add that. Sorry, that's my
Right?
bad.
That's what Dale la
Yeah.
vuelta means?
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. That's exactly what it means.
Turn.
So that's where we're going to spend this whole episode talking about these first couple lines and why really the majority of everyone's time and thought should go into that. And really what I would recommend is like until everyone do your own thing, right? Do you. But like I always am a little surprised when people are out searching in trails. And
With
they're like,
just, yeah.
and they're like, yeah, because I
So
have this really
fast.
good idea for the sixth line. Or like, I don't
Yeah.
think anyone finds it that way. You really have to have 2, 3, 4 good theories on these first 2 or 3 lines before I would recommend getting out there and trying to correlate the rest. Because a lot of those
Gas
other
ain't
clues,
free.
yeah, you
Yeah.
know, son, yeah, that's not free. And
That's not tree.
yeah. Well, a lot of these clues can be solved like early on, like through Google Maps. But like usually, like at some point, you have to be actually
You have
on
to
the
do
trail
that.
and
Yeah.
seeing that before you know what's going on.
And I think we've kind of been through this almost every poem hunt that we've done. But haven't we established that it's usually pretty early on that you have to be on the trail? Like it's really
Earlier
the
than
first
you
2
think.
lines.
Yeah,
It's like the first 2
yeah,
lines
it's
that you can
earlier
be
than
in
you
Google
think,
Maps.
yeah.
We felt really dumb. Like at the first year we did it, we're like, okay, here at line 9, then you're getting to the trail. And we
Yeah.
had some people openly mock us.
Yeah.
And we're like, no, you don't know. This could be an urban hunt. And yeah, we were dumb.
Yeah.
That being said, this could be an urban hunt.
This could be an urban hunt. No, but yeah, we would take, remember the bird named streets that we would just go on.
Oh,
and
yeah.
like we would stay on the streets for a long time.
Yeah.
But yeah, if history repeats itself, you're on the trail pretty early on in the poem.
Yeah, that's in the like line of thinking of like the early blunders or like first timer blunders. Another thing that you see a lot, we'll talk about this later, but confirmation bias. But specifically in this beginning part, what was I gonna say?
But yeah, if you go out there, you're gonna
Being
find
too on the nose. With
you're gonna
clues.
find what you're looking
Oh,
for.
being
yeah.
too on the nose with clues. Like,
Yeah.
sorry, I interrupted you.
Oh no, I was just gonna echo what you're saying. Like
Yeah.
if you go out there, you're going to find things that will. You're gonna find what you're
relate
looking
to your
for.
life.
If
An
you're
example.
looking for ice cream
Exactly.
something, you'll see something that will.
That's the example
Yeah,
I was going to
yeah.
use. BYU Creamery. Some people were talking about that, and then someone was like, "Oh, there's one in Utah State," and I'm like, everybody learned to taste or smell ice cream at the nearest ice
Somewhere,
cream
yeah,
shop, so you
yeah.
can't really choose that one,
Mhm.
and it's probably not going to be the answer that they are trying to lead us to.
Yeah.
Is like a specific ice cream shop. It's going to be a little bit more convoluted than that.
Imagine if you were writing a poem and you hit $25,000 and you were trying to write a poem that isn't solved for 4 to 6 weeks. If you make the trailhead where eventually it's found too easy, then you're going to have hundreds and thousands of people on that trail on day 1, 2, and 3, and some of them are going to just probably stumble across it because
Yeah.
of dumb luck. So absolutely, if it's too on the nose, then just throw it out immediately. Like if it's too simple that too many people are thinking it, really, that's actually a good point too. If you see there's like an early consensus on a line, oh, this is a trail, it's
Right.
probably not that
Probably
trail.
not it. Yeah.
because they're going to be going the opposite of groupthink here,
Uh-huh.
which is right. The most important time to be creative in this is in these first 4 lines. So let's start talking about our creative ideas or interpretations to these lines.
Sorry, I have one more.
Yeah.
And it kind of leads into it. But the last thing that you see a lot, and at least the last 3 hunts, the first line has kind of been a throwaway line. So
Begin your search with each cool morning.
that was just like, it's going to be hot out.
Yeah, we spent forever looking at like dew, mist. Yeah, like looking for anything related to that.
And then what was the last year's, God, Gosh dang it.
You think I would know it because I stared at it so many times. Some
was
people are
like-
saying it in their head right now. They're like,
Something
"What's
about
this?"
like history's
Oh,
time was transcended.
Begin your search where time was transcended.
yeah, and that
Kind of
one
was
like,
a throwaway,
kind of-
kind of wasn't.
yeah.
Yeah. It was like historical
It's historical.
monuments in Utah.
So kind of a general or throwaway term where like specific words aren't the trailhead. Do you
Yeah,
know what I mean?
totally.
So I would. It's a good bet to look at the second line instead of the third.
Yeah,
Or
or
first.
like I see 'em- and I always encourage people to like read clues as couplets too, like connect the
yeah.
two together, because there might be something in the first line that kind of leads it into the second line or helps you with the second line, but usually not the first line itself is the trailhead.
Although this one kind of breaks that rule.
Because it gets right into the meat, like nitty gritty right away. Because
Well-
it's just not like a platitude. It's like, hey, if you suffer pain that's cured with gold, like that's not a throwaway line. That has to.
I
mean
think
something.
it is a throwaway line.
Yeah,
it's
it's like if you
want
wanna
gold,
find the
if
treasure.
you want to find treasure,
okay,
it's. I mean, I
Yeah.
see what you mean. It can have different meanings. But
Okay, well that being said, let's really dig into this line.
Yeah. All right. So when I was saying breaking the rule of couplets, I would say the second and the third line belong together more than the
Oh,
first and the second.
I like that.
So
Let's see.
like, look for the shortcut where the choir sings, find the place for which it is named.
Yeah.
That's the second and third. So I mean, that kind of breaks that rule, but yeah. Anyways, we can start with the first line. I know that you've spent some time looking
Let
at
me
different
throw
meanings.
some ideas at you
I've
guys.
been kind of ignoring it, but
Yeah. Let me toss some ideas of you. Okay. Chad. So Chad's like, oh, I got to choose a snack for a podcast. He's looking around our whole office. There's a million snacks here. He's like, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to find the noisiest bag of that's 3-pound bag of tortilla
It's
chips.
massive.
You couldn't have chosen a noisier snack.
If I just
Yeah, you
reach
could have
in
literally put
carefully.
nickels inside a rattle, and you would still make less noise than what you're making right now. Okay, so if you suffer pain, that's cured with gold. So the most simple and easiest thing to look at this is like gold fever, right? So gold madness. You go all Thor and Oakenshield, made a little Hobbit
No.
reference.
No, I don't know.
Okay, so if you get obsessed with like golden fever, so like what is something that is cured, like a fever that is cured with gold, right? So Kate, I got a fever. What's the only thing what's the only prescription for fever?
More cowbell, baby.
Yeah, a golden cowbell.
So
Chat.
that's what you think the
No,
answer is.
I just thought it was fun. Okay. So another thing. So arthritis is a pain that is suffered that is cured with gold. So there are treatments.
Is it cured with gold, or is just
It's
the
treated.
symptoms are treated with
okay?
gold sleeves?
Thank you. Yes, it's not technically cured. There is no
Also,
cure to the
sounds
the
like a
common
medieval
household
cure.
arthritis. No, it's actually like a very common like new thing. Like it's like on there's like
I've seen the Jerry Rice infomercial
yeah.
for the gold. What's it called?
It's like a gold
It's a gold compression sleeve.
bond
okay,
sleeve or
so
something.
you're saying it's made of gold,
I
or
think
it's the
is
color gold?
It's infused with
why-
real fragments of gold.
I think it's mostly the compression that they're selling.
Yeah, but it's got real gold in it.
That's
It's
the
real
dumbest
gold,
thing
real
I've
strands
ever
of gold.
I mean, I don't know how. I don't know if it's real gold either.
But there's something with the property of gold that's supposed to help with arthritis. Okay, so it's if you suffer arthritis,
you
that
don't
is
see
cured
any
with gold.
broke people that suffer.
I'm gonna pass on that one.
Okay, that's fair. Okay, pain that's cured with gold. How about a toothache? Dentist would fill cavities with gold, and it would cause your toothache and pain to stop.
Back in the day,
Yeah, but Dave and John aren't spring chickens. I guarantee
Fair.
I'm
Pretty
willing
close
to.
to your age.
I
aren't
am
they?
willing to bet $10 to John's charity of choice that he's had a filling in his life of gold.
No,
Okay.
you're kidding.
No, John, if you please respond, $10 to a charity of your choice. I will donate to Bachelors with Alopecia. John, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean it. I'm sure you got plenty of hair other places than your head. Okay. So, but John, please respond. Have you had a gold filling in your mouth? Okay. Okay, let me get you another idea here. This one might be my worst one, and that's saying something. Okay, what's the atomic symbol for gold?
AU.
And in Spanish, AU is translated to ouch. That's
What?
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
Ouch.
If you go to Google and you say Spanish translation for AU, it will tell you that it's ouch.
It's ow.
No, it's ouch.
Yeah, but they say you just say ow.
Yeah, but it's AU
Okay.
in Spanish. If you were to say,
So we're okay. So
I'm
finish
doing
the
this
thought. Complete the
well,
thought.
it's a pain.
What is it?
I don't know. Ouch, pain. Those just seems like
Okay, I'm
correlated.
doing this. You're saying it's going to say ouch. Oh, it says ouch.
Yeah, I didn't make that up. That seems really like specific, dumb.
Okay,
to
listen. It's ow. That's how you pronounce those letters. It's just ow.
Yeah,
They're saying
but it's
ow.
spelled AU
It's
in
not
Spanish.
ouch.
If you're reading,
Never once heard
if
that.
you're reading Harry Potter and the Goblet de
All right.
Fire,
Fuego.
de Fuego, then when Harry's like, "Ow, ow, AU, my head, my scar, Mica Pesa, es fuego,
It's fuego. Okay.
It's gonna be spelled AU.
I didn't hear that in my time there, but our
That is so
amigos
funny.
mexicanos let us know if AU is actually ouch.
and
in
I want to be
Spanish.
clear, we're not trying to be rude or with the Spanish. We're sorry. We're not trying to be, just being cool with us. Okay. So one other quick thing I was going to say, cured doesn't always, like, there's different interpretations to cured other than just like a remedy for sickness. Cured also means to preserve. Like a cured meat is a preserved meat. So a pain that is cured with gold. So like something that is cured or preserved with gold or similar to gold. So
Ham.
gold is preserved in a cold, dry place. That's something. Chloride is used to cure gold. Copper is can I call it copper, guys?
To mine.
We'll finally use Kennecott.
Yeah. Anyways, so those are some thoughts. Those weren't really good ideas, but they were
I
ideas.
love that
They
one.
were ideas. Thank you. for
Yeah, they
bringing
were.
those up.
I'm so sorry, John.
That was so funny.
Oh man, that was
All right. So
Okay.
is that all the Caden, do you have anything to add with
for
the
first line. No, I mean I
Do
was
you-
also thinking the first line is just kind of
Throwaway.
like setting up. Like if you want to find this treasure,
If you're treasure hungry
yeah.
Yeah.
and you
I-
want to
it-
quench that fire.
It almost feels more throwaway to me than the each cool morning.
Okay.
So
Glad I wasted 10 minutes on that.
no, I mean you knew what you were getting yourself into
That's true.
with that one. Second line.
Okay, so the
Where
next
is it?
one, yeah, it's look for the shortcut where the choir sings.
And this is the one I've been concentrating on, okay? Because obviously second line, first line I feel like it's throwaway. We spent so much time almost every year on the first line. This year I'm just going to look at the second one. Anyways, I started out by looking at where the choir sings. There's some obvious ones that I feel like people are going to go to, the ones that I went to, the tabernacle, what's the cathedral?
The Cathedral Madeline.
Cathedral Madeline. They have a famous choir as well.
Madeline's Choir.
Is that what it's called?
Yes.
No, it's not.
I don't know.
I actually think it is.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. You just look like you didn't know.
I know. That's true.
Yeah. And then amphitheater was another. Was that the third one I was thinking of?
Yeah.
There's an amphitheater in Murray that I was looking at that's near a few trailheads.
on a trail. Oh, or-
It's near a few trailheads that are like Mountain View and Mountain View Corridor.
You could obviously look at like music venues, but like a choir is a music that you don't hear at like USANA. Like they're not like welcoming a choir to that. Like that's so choir. You're typically thinking like tabernacle, things like that. But this goes back to what we're
High
talking about.
schools.
I was
You're
also-
wrong. It's not. It's too on the nose, right? Like
Yeah.
it's just.
It's
it can't
usually
be
not the
that.
first thing you think of. So I put this list together, the first things I thought of, and I'm kind of just ignoring it. Another one of those was the Bravenel Hall.
Yeah.
Um,
Red Butte Garden, like the music venue.
yeah.
Like yeah.
Yeah. And then I started looking at the like structure of it, and it's the shortcut where the choir sings. So we keep looking at the where the choir sings. And
That's not-
even if you
that's not
find
the
the answer
place.
to that,
Yeah.
that's not the place. It's the shortcut. So
Right.
where's the shortcut where the choir sings?
But I think it's easier to find where the choir sings and then look for a shortcut around that, rather than just look
but
for
I feel
generally
like
any shortcut. Like
I feel like
that's
shortcut
so broad.
when you're thinking of trails, trailheads, or like places. Shortcut can mean you narrow it down when you think about shortcut to like bridges, tunnels.
See, I don't know about that because
canyons. You know what I mean?
there's so many trails that have like split off trails. That's like, oh, you're trying to get this spot. If you take this small trail, it's actually a little bit of a shortcut. It's hard. It's way uphill, but there's
Yes,
just so
but-
many like connections between trails that there's shortcuts, quote unquote, shortcuts everywhere.
And I'm not saying look at the word shortcut in a silo. So there's shortcuts everywhere, but it's shortcut where the choir sings. So where the choir sings related to singing, and I thought of like echoing or like Echo Canyon or Echo Trail.
Yeah.
Or do you know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
Echo Bridge.
I like that. I like the echo, like finding something that is correlated or related to choir and going down that path.
Right.
Echo is a nice one.
So as the choir expert in
Harmony.
this group, what's the harmony? Yeah. What are some other choir terms?
Yeah.
Oh,
Choir
you know what?
terms and
First of all,
shortcut
Kaden, thank you for coming to me
synonyms.
for this. I've had so much, like, no one ever comes to me for choir insight. And I put in,
And he begs for it.
I went 4 or 5 years of high school, just putting in so much time in that choir room. and most of that was during school. Caden's laughing. That's an inside joke.
Are you going to share it with
No,
the rest of us?
We're good.
Inside jokes
But
are
here's the
not
thing.
meant for podcasts.
The first thing I'm going to say is in choir, you don't take shortcuts in choir. There are no shortcuts in choir, okay? You got to put in that work. You got to hit the scales. You got to wake up early. You got to stay late. You got to harmonize, okay? So there's no shortcuts in choir. But if I was to take a shortcut in choir, not that I ever would,
What are you doing?
my shortcut would be, a little bit of helium. Make those high notes a little bit easier. You know what I'm talking about?
This is nothing. This means absolutely nothing. All right.
Okay. No, I'm serious. It's a legit shortcut you take as a tenor. Those notes don't come easy,
Anyways, what other places?
And do you know
I
what the
like that
atomic
question,
symbol
though.
for helium is?
Oh, he will not stop. H-E.
And you know what he is in Spanish?
L.
Ooh, now we're talking.
So what?
Starts
Now
with an
we're
L.
cooking with gas.
What starts with an L?
The trailhead.
Oh.
L.
I do like that idea, though. I mean, I don't know if I already said that, but like this trailhead being a Spanish word or...
Yeah.
Oh, I did already say
Kaden, you
that.
had a really good idea with, I liked for this, with a tunnel, right?
I can't remember. I don't know that it was really good. I was just
Yeah, like a shortcut
idea.
tunnel.
What also where choir sings,
Tunnels
like
are echoey.
a lot of people, like they'll sing in choirs and they're very, like choirs will sing in tunnels. Or even if there's a couple people talking in a tunnel, it feels like it's a choir. Like it echoes even more than like an echo canyon where it's like echo, echo.
Well,
like when you sing in a tunnel, it feels like way more voices are singing.
I like this idea way more than like a on the nose one. Like it's a place. Like there's a dentist office for the gold fillings or arthritis clinic.
I do too, but it's
I like
also
this a lot
like,
more.
Yeah.
It
I don't know.
almost
It helps
feels
you
like
get a
a
little
huge
bit there.
stretch, though.
I don't know because there are canyons or I feel like natural formations that are meant for singing that like they're it's like a natural auditorium. I don't remember what it's called, but there are
Red Rocks in Colorado.
No.
Yeah. Tuacahn.
Yeah, Tucson. Anyways, yeah. So I think that there's a possibility that the trailhead has.
Well, so as a little serious a little serious choir insight. Actually, when you sing in a choir,
Oh my gosh.
you actually do have a backdrop like behind you. That's
That's
like
true.
a bunch
The,
of
like,
panels.
shell,
Yeah, it's
the
like a
choir
shell that's supposed to amplify and push sound out. So
Yeah.
I don't hate that. Like
What's it called?
where the choir sings,
I think it's called the choir shell.
it's like a shell. If you look it up. It's
A
like
shell.
yeah, it's and that is a formation that you would see very often in nature. Is like a rock cliff that's kind of curved, is convex, and where a choir would sing. I actually love that idea
Yeah,
because
I
it's
like
just
that too.
out there enough and something that matches nature. I think it's cool.
I like that too. Do you guys think that there's anything in there being a specific choir that we have to look at?
A specific
It's-
choir, like
Because the
I don't
next
know.
line, if you read the next line, I don't have it up. Caden, do you have it?
I have. Yeah, I can pull it up.
go ahead and tell me your second favorite choir.
I guarantee
So
there's
which
a
line?
Utah
The
men's
next line
choir.
after the choir line, or the find the place for which it is named? That one?
Yeah. Why did I bring that up?
I don't know.
Right. Like, you're talking about the specific choir. Why was it named that?
Oh yeah. I mean,
know what I mean?
yes, it probably is.
Could that be referring? What does that refer to? What does the third line refer to? If not the choir, can it be referring to the shortcut?
I don't know.
Find the shortcut.
What's Bingham High School's choir called?
Oh,
The Bingham High School Choir.
no, it's the Darts. It's the Darty Boys. It sounds a lot like Hardy Boys. Are they the Bingham Darts?
No, I think it's the Davis.
That's
Darts.
the Davis
the
Darts.
Bingham Miners or something.
Yeah,
right?
it is. I'm guaranteed it's got to be minorettes.
The Harmonimers.
I like that.
Miners.
Did high school choirs have clever names like that?
Yeah, minor. I hardly know her.
That was low effort.
No, I don't know. I don't know. I'm just trying to think of choirs. And the only things that come to mind are high school.
I don't think
had
it's a
list
specific
of them.
choir.
There are like 15 not professional, but like official choirs.
See,
that
I don't.
In
Once
Salt
again,
Lake
I don't
area, or
like
Utah.
in Utah.
Utah.
I would more think of like, in the tabernacle, the organ, right, be where the choir sings, the very famous organ, like it has all those long pipes, that formation. I would be more inclined to look for a formation that kind of resembles that and be like,
an organ.
yeah,
Yeah, okay. Because isn't there like an organ
trail.
Oh my gosh, that's
100%
Just don't get dysentery.
No, I feel like there's a formation that's famous around here that looks like like an organ like that. Isn't there?
Okay, what are we doing here? If that's it, we're getting in the car. We're driving there.
Isn't there? I don't know.
We're
I'll look into that.
I don't know.
You guys ever heard of this?
I don't know. Maybe I just wish there was a device we could ask and find
Okay,
information.
I have one hand.
What's going on? Okay.
Anyways,
Yeah. No. If there is, I like that.
I like that too, but
then you're like, okay, for what it's named, find the what's the
find
line?
the place for which it's named.
yeah.
So it's so funny if you like go up a trail, find a formation that looks like the organ, and then takes you back to the tabernacle. You were supposed to get there on line 3, not line 2.
That's pretty funny.
No, but like if you define the place for once it's named, right? Maybe that could be a clue related to the tabernacle or something like that. Maybe the name of that specific organ is called like, oh yeah, that's a Jones Rodriguez like organ, like the famous.
Yeah.
And then you use Rodriguez.
We need to
help you
dig
find
deeper
something.
into that thought.
Yeah,
Because I kind of like it.
I do too.
But anything else, Caden? You got anything else on that third line?
No,
Second
I mean
line,
it's really dependent on the second one. I feel like.
Yeah.
If you want to go,
or maybe I mean, who knows? Maybe it's not even in reference to the choir though.
What would it be in reference to? Let me see. Look for the shortcut where the choir sings. Find the place for which it is named.
well, the shortcut could be the place for what it is named after. Could
The
be
one, it's not 100% shortcut. Just by looking at sentence structure, the place for which it was named is referring to the shortcut.
I know, but you could reasonably say it could refer to the choir or to the shortcut. I'm saying I agree that it's probably more likely it is a shortcut.
I think it's more likely the shortcut, but it also I'm thinking it
Which-
could be something else. It could be the place, like the trail that you're on.
Find the
So you find the shortcut,
for
and
which,
then that puts you onto a trail that is named. I don't know. Maybe
So
not. I don't
the
know.
trail, you're talking about the shortcut.
I don't know.
You're saying
Yeah.
the same thing in a different way. I think it's a shortcut. So I'm gonna be thinking about that.
Hey, I'm going to throw one more quick thing at you.
All right.
I know we're kind of getting long in it. That's not a thing. But
getting long in it.
oh
no, dude.
Chad, one day, man, one day. Actually, knowing you, probably never. I'm just joking.
geez.
I'm teasing. I think you'll definitely get medium in it. Okay. Joking. We'll cut that.
All
Okay.
No, we
So
won't.
pop culture is always a part of their poem hunts. They always find like pop culture references. It was the Back to the Future, and before that was Lord of the Rings and The Sound of Music, and so they always find pop culture references. It feels like there has to be. That's their pattern. There's going to be pop culture
Is
references.
They
Taylor
already
Swift
have. They have already
referenced in
done it.
this? In this poem?
Yeah.
Where?
Not in the poem.
Oh.
Goonies in like the release of the poem.
Yeah, but that
Goonies and Indiana Jones.
Indiana Jones, but that could just be like a throwaway thing.
I think it is.
Because usually, in fact, the fact that they reference those with the pushing it out makes me feel like those are not the references in the poem because they're always hard to find.
They're very strict on
yeah.
These are not clues. Everything you need to find the poem or the treasure is in the poem.
Yeah, it's actually weird because in Goonies there is a line where Chunk says something about like the smell of ice cream.
That's what they posted.
Oh, that's what they did?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I missed that.
They posted that audio behind the...
Okay, so I mean, maybe that's one, but I feel like there's going to be, they love to like layer in secret pop culture references. So if you're going to dig in and look into anything, finding pop culture references that are similar to this or likened it to this.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that.
Even something where it talks about a choir, I don't know.
Maybe that's the Spanish connection. The Spanish connection.
One day you'll find it. The Donde Está. No, what? The Rainbow Connection.
Yeah.
Mix that up. Okay, one other thing I'm going to throw at you. This poem hunt was delayed so much.
Yeah, no, wait. What do you mean?
Well, usually it's out earlier in the year, much earlier in the year.
Yeah, I bet they were
Can I say
hesitant.
Do you know what I think it is?
What?
The snowpack was around for a long time.
Was it?
It was. Like, we had a lot
Why
of
are
snow.
you laughing?
Yeah, Kane.
I mean, yeah, it's possible.
Why are you laughing about the snowpack? We don't laugh about the snowpack.
I feel like it was because, they didn't even start the timer until like 3 days before.
Hey.
So I honestly think they were like maybe not going to do it.
You know what I'm thinking? This is a really random thing, but you're an adult when you start caring about the snowpack. Like, I honestly this year several times looked up our precipitation levels. I'm like, how's our snowpack doing? Like, are we ahead of schedule?
Yeah, I can. Are we?
Do you do that?
I've been doing that for years.
I know. It's such an adult thing. You get married and like suddenly you like broccoli and you don't like making out anymore and you want to just look at the snowpack levels. It's the weirdest thing. So, no, but I was wondering if maybe where it's buried.
Don't like making out anymore.
No, I'm wondering where the treasure is hidden was close and it was kind of covered by snow, and they had to wait for the snow to melt to make a trail open, or something had to happen that it was accessible.
It's not the worst. It's not the worst.
Dude.
It's not the worst idea. I wouldn't hang your hat on that, but
okay, I won't hang it.
That's funny.
Any other thoughts before we finish up, guys?
because it's usually Memorial Day.
We can't finish up.
It's usually Memorial Day, yeah.
Yeah, which was only like
We still have to go through all the
2 weeks
Instagram
ago.
questions.
Let's go through the Instagram questions.
Okay, well, let's just finish the fourth line. We'll talk 2 minutes about the last
the
line.
fourth line.
So turn around and follow the shadow.
This makes me think that we are well onto the trail. By
Yeah.
the second line, I think we know the trailhead is. You then get your first on the trail clue in the third line, or a mixture, and then the fourth line you're on the trail. You're making footpath corrections.
Can I throw a really dumb idea at you?
Yes.
They want people searching for this in the morning. They like people to go out when it's like, always go out where it's cool. That was kind of the whole idea earlier. So what if when you turn around and you follow your shadow, you're just walking directly opposite of where the sun is in the morning? Because then you're actually directly following your shadow.
So you're going east.
I don't think.
But it says
that.
turn around.
Yeah, so you get to a spot and then you...
They'd piss a lot of people off if they were making this like time based. Like, oh, you would only have been able to find it if you had gone between 6 and 9 in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
Like, people have to work. I feel
unless
like
there was something earlier in the poem that was trying to direct you to do it in the morning.
Right, yeah, I would feel more.
But there was, in one of the poems that they talked about in the past, it was turn your back from the rising sun. And then, but that was being way more literal. But I'm just saying, when you turn your back on the rising sun, the fact that it's rising made you tell that it was in the morning.
It also could be like the shadow from... It could be in the afternoon. Like if the sun is setting in the west.
Yeah, that's the problem with following your shadow is being a directional thing, is it depends where the sun is.
Yeah.
I know, but it doesn't say follow your shadow. It says follow the shadow.
The shadow of...
La sombra. Yeah.
So that's what I mean. So like what you said earlier, like your shadow, I mean, I guess all shadows are pointing in the same direction.
Follow the shadow. Yeah, that's actually interesting. Yeah, because if you're following the shadow, that is time-based.
But that's also...
So the shadow is not referring to an actual shadow. It can't be.
The shadow is always going to be moving east to west or west to east, whatever.
Yes. So you're saying...
the fact that it's moving, it can't be...
because it's a moving target, so you can't actually follow your actual real shadow.
Technically,
I know, but you're moving...
But
like, the shadow always... This building that we're in, the shadow always goes the same direction every day.
Okay, so you can say that at wherever... when you get to that point, you have...
turn around and you go west or east or whichever way.
It rises in the east.
I know, but it rises in the east, so your shadow's pointing west in the morning.
See,
and then it moves to the east, your shadow.
But I'm just saying, if the motion of is always pointing east, then maybe following your shadow is just to turn east.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. No. Okay.
I
I think this is pretty good analysis. I mean,
turn
I think
west.
For sure it is.
Because
I think this is a good debate.
Moves west.
Yeah. Sorry.
I think that's a very good thing to be thinking about.
Yeah, so it moves east. Your shadow moves east.
You now have to decide if you're going with this like shadow moving. Sorry, you have more to say.
No, if sun rises in the east and sets in the west,
yeah,
isn't it moving west?
The shadow.
The sun is moving. Your shadow moves the opposite direction.
Yeah, that's fine.
Oh my gosh.
You know how shadows
work?
work?
What? I guarantee there's 7 people that were on the same train of thought that were listening. Over half of our listeners. So then the only other thought would then be, if we're not doing that, then it couldn't be literal, and the fact then your shadow would have to be something else.
That's what I think. Yeah,
like what you've left behind.
I do think it's a good argument. Okay. Because you're right. It is always the same motion. I feel like it's a little bit too much thinking.
Unless this is the pop culture reference to
Shadow
Peter Pan.
Shadowfax.
Shadowfax, they're obsessed. They need to get over Lord of the Rings, guys. Come on.
I actually was thinking, what's the horse's name in Atreyu? I was thinking Atreyu when I said Shadowfax.
Is that the
Never-ending story?
Yeah, we're not talking about that. That's literally the most traumatizing scene of all time.
Oh my goodness! Yeah, I felt so.
Plus, I could never finish that movie.
There's also the bullying. That's dumb. Have you said that joke before?
No, that's the first time I actually
were ready for laughs.
I know, it was good. Okay, so
anyways, yeah.
Anyways, but hey, Peter Pan reference, the shadow.
I mean, sure.
Oh,
Peter Pan's a little dated. I feel like they try and
timeless.
Dated. They did Back to the Future.
Back to the Future was
still
50 years after Peter Pan.
50 years? What are you smoking? I bet 30, it was within
20.
10 years.
Okay, this is a good bet.
Okay,
stop.
Stop. 15 years.
No, you said 10 years.
No, I'm going to 15.
So if it's more than 15, what are you going to do?
I'll give you $1.
If it's less than 15, Kane, what are you going to do?
I'll give him $1.
Okay, but you're going to give me $1, and then he's going to give you $1. And no one gives Caden $1. I like this bet. Okay, let's
what the
check.
Disney, the animated one, right?
Animated, is it more or less than 15 years separated from Back to the Future?
Well, okay, when was Back to the Future? Peter Pan was 1953.
You're screwed.
Oh my gosh, yeah, I'm so screwed. It was 80s. Back to the Future.
1985. So 32 years.
Yeah, I won. Anyways,
$1 for me. Okay. Should we wrap it up with the Instagram questions?
Yeah, the questions. There's quite a few, but a lot of them are... Yeah, I'll read them all. How do you guys come up with your poems each year for the first day clue?
Okay, we need to get out ahead of this. Just to be super clear, this is not John and Dave. This is Kate and Christian and Chad. We have no interaction with John and Dave, except we interviewed them once or twice. It was awkward, but enjoyable. We do not do anything with the treasure hunts. We're in no position financially to do such. And we have no hints that you have. That's not us.
That sounds like a riddle.
Mm-hmm.
Jersey's Books of Art. They said a joke, and it was pretty funny.
It was funny, but we can't read it.
But we can't share it.
Yeah.
But you made us laugh, Jersey's.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, what's up with smelling ice cream and eating lobsters?
We'll get to that
We
next
haven't
episode.
gotten to the lobsters.
We're going to tease you.
Lobsters or locusts. We'll talk about that next time.
Yeah.
Lobsters or locust is the next one. They're the same word in Spanish. Yeah, okay. Please solve this for
Spoiler
us,
alert.
says Samantha Simpkins. We are doing our best.
Yes, we'll be there. Yeah.
I think we did it, though.
Listen to next episode. We actually leaked to solve the next episode.
Amanda LaFam Quick review of previous poems and solves. I feel like we did that a
We
little
didn't
bit.
do it very
A
in
little
depth,
bit.
but
No,
some of
I
that we
just-
want to leave in the past. Like, it hurts bringing it up, honestly. Some of it. And
Although I love the drama, so I'd like to talk about
yeah,
it.
there was fun drama.
There was
last
good
time.
drama.
And I really hope there's some drama in this
Oh,
one.
there will be.
They should have done French
need to
just
do
to
our
throw
part.
with best of everyone.
Yeah, that would have been funny.
Et tu, Jackie?
Et tu? Can you shout out my sister? Her name is Jackie.
Oh, and Jackie spelled a little
Okay.
differently. Okay.
Samba M. Allen. That's funny. Carlos A. Walter. Where is the treasure?
I don't know. Hey,
Okay.
first of all, Jackie, if you're listening, we would love to be your source that you leak things to this year.
Yeah, that would
Yeah.
be great.
Yep.
If you got something, leak it our way.
Yeah, Arc Math, hit me up, girl.
K. Rain Scott. Translate the poem into English for me.
Google,
we
buddy.
did the first 4 lines, but there's also Google.
Mm-hmm.
Anyone, Rick O'Lanterns, anyone know where John and David did their missions, assuming they are LDS? I don't know. But
I don't know.
think that there's something in my memory that Dave speaks Spanish because of his mission.
Okay.
enough for me.
Caden Prowls, why does it say learn to smell ice cream? I know you don't know, but it's fun to theorize. First of all,
we have a really good theory for this.
he knows we don't know.
Yeah, Caden, come on.
What?
We talk to John and Dave every day. We have all the inside.
We got
No.
Jackie in our DMs.
Oh, that'd be so cool. We actually have a really good theory for this, but once again, listen next episode. We'll tell you.
Savannah Lynn 5, how the freaking frack, that's hilarious, does smelling ice cream and lobster fit in this poem? Okay, another one.
Stay tuned.
Lover 2J, who is their favorite Goonies character? Who's there? Like
Who,
us?
John and
John
Dave?
and Dave.
John and Dave? Let's see if they respond. We'll ask John and Dave.
John, Dave. Who's your favorite Goonies character?
Should I message them?
Hey, you guys. Who's your favorite?
Hey, you should jump
get
on the
that
Instagram
reference?
account and message John and Dave and ask them who their favorite Goonies character is. All right. Hey, Dave said, Cafe Rio or Costa Vida?
Dave, the treasure hunt Dave?
No.
Why was you making sure? He hit us up?
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
The Klein fam. Cafe Rio or Costa Vida?
Really?
Okay, can I...
I will say
Is
something.
that a clue?
Okay. Cafe Rio has gone super downhill over the past, 5 years?
Yeah.
But yesterday,
They're making a comeback.
have you noticed?
Yeah. They have elotes.
I didn't
An
know
elote
that.
is a type of corn
I didn't know
salad.
that, but I had a burrito yesterday. I did it queso style, and
Yeah.
I didn't know that existed, and
Huh?
it changed my
What's
my
queso
life.
style?
So you know
Instead
that
of enchilada sauce, they put cheese on it.
no, but
I
it's the
gathered.
queso that you get with like nachos at Chili's.
Ooh, interesting.
Yeah, and they smother the. It's so good.
Yeah, Cafe Rio,
Try
we
it.
got your eyes on you, don't you? Make a comeback, boy.
Okay. Did you send the message?
No, I just logged on, but I will right now.
All right, Cambry Harker. Any idea who he is, or do you think the crow line is meaning longitude or latitude?
That's actually really something I was looking at earlier. Once again, we shouldn't read anything that we're just going to say the same thing to, which is next episode. We'll talk about it.
Well, I'm gonna read it. I just feel like that one has. Why are people that far ahead?
Well, that is a good thing to talk about because once again, the first 2 or 3 lines is where all the 90% of your mental energy should be. I think it's fine to start seeding.
It's
some
fun to
ideas
read
and
read
thoughts.
through it and
Yeah.
stuff.
To
but
dip into the.
I mean, obviously,
later
we're going to do it
lines?
next episode, but first 2 lines, first 3 lines.
Yeah.
That's where
milk
it all
before
is.
meat.
Mhm.
All right, Philip N. Key music. Sorry, it's just weird lettering. It's in Spanish fork. I'm gonna find it. So that's not a question, Philip.
I think he's joking because I know Philip and he's a pretty sharp guy. I don't.
You know him?
Well, he's messaged us quite a bit. He's a
Okay.
cool guy. He's
Yeah.
got some good music. And I don't think he thinks it's actually in Spanish fork. I think he's being tongue in cheek.
Yeah. Well, I think if anybody says it's here, that's
Mhm.
probably tongue in cheek.
Yeah, that's true.
But I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if Spanish fork was the answer to the fact that it's in Spanish.
No,
I think that's I think it's on the
There's
nose,
no
but it's also
way.
possible. It's
But
possible.
also, I could see that there are
No.
easier solves.
No, what's an easier,
solves.
more on the nose thing than Spanish?
Okay?
It's in
okay.
Spanish fork.
Weather top. looked like Weathertop. That was not an in-depth answer.
Yeah,
to a
but did
clue.
you see the formation that they thought was Weathertop?
Yeah,
that was a
I
stretch.
thought it kind of looked like Weathertop.
No, it didn't.
Yes, it did.
No, you had to really be stretching and looking for it. This is literally like the location, the city where it's in. It's like thinking that the first poem was in English and being like, oh, I mean English, American. It's an American fork. That's how stupid it is.
I just want to be surprised. I think there's dumber answers.
Okay. Hey, this year, next episode, we're doing the same thing we did last year with the bets. I am willing. My one right now is that it's not in Spanish fork. If it is in Spanish fork, I will.
Here we go.
I'm not ready to make.
Okay, next episode, let's tease it again. Let's make our bets for next episode. Okay.
Yeah, but that can be your bet.
Okay.
I'm not ready to make mine.
Okay.
Chrissy Monet, who we know, we were kind of teamed up with her.
Chrissy
right?
Monet is my girl. She's the
said,
best.
"Why do you hate me?"
Chrissy, we don't hate you. We love you. You're the best. Congratulations on your daughter graduating.
I don't think she's. I don't think she's being serious, is she?
No, because she knows that
Did we do
she
something?
knows we like her. No.
Yeah. All right. Nightcrawler 2024 treasure hunt? Question mark. What does that mean?
Yes, Nightcrawler. This poem.
No, it's 2025. I don't know how to answer it. You know what he's probably saying?
What?
He probably listens to the other series.
Oh, yeah.
I asked the question. Hey, we're going
fair.
live.
That's fair.
Okay, that's a good. I'm sorry. I should have. That's my fault.
He's a fan of the Cash Me Outside podcast network.
Yeah, the whole kit and caboodle.
Yep.
I am Sean Cronin. I wonder who he is. What? I'm an idiot. Who would win in a fight, 100 1-pound lobsters or one 100-pound locust?
Let's dive into this.
That's a great
We
question.
should have started the episode with this.
Okay, 100 1-pound lobsters.
I feel like it's an easy call.
What
What would you guys say?
Okay, first of all,
With these ones, I am a fan of the big guys.
the locust.
All it has to do is roll over them.
I need to see a picture of a locust because you know locusts are eating things. Like that's what they're famous for doing. So if you do like 100-pound locust, which is roughly the size of one of my thighs, then it's got to have some big yammers on it.
Here's yeah.
Sorry, quick sidebar. Does yammers mean teeth? I'm worried that they mean something else.
Yammers. I haven't heard either of those things referred to as yammers.
Okay.
Anyways, here's how I think about it. If I walked outside right now and I saw 100 1-pound lobsters making their way toward me, or one 100-pound locust, which would I be more afraid of? The locust.
That's
the one
because,
I'd be more
but that
afraid of.
doesn't.
And so I think
the
that
fight is between the lobsters and the locust.
which
it doesn't
incites
matter
more
which way you.
fear, which is more dangerous.
But that locust it flies. But
Okay,
to
let me ask you
attack
one
those
thing.
crabs, it's got to get on the lobster's level.
I don't think
It's
so.
got to get down with it.
Yeah, that's true. I guess that's going to be my point. How much weight does it take to crush a 1-pound lobster? 100 pounds is plenty. All this thing has
I
to
don't
do
know.
is start rolling around. Even if it didn't have wings. That is your point.
I'm just telling you, once the wings are snipped and it's not airborne anymore, it's game over. It's lobsters in 7.
Yeah. There's 200 quarter-pound pinchers that
Lobsters
will,
and so.
that
What'd you
will
say?
snip up the
Yeah.
locust's wings.
It
I'm
doesn't
going
need
lobsters.
wings. It's rolling around.
I'm going lobsters.
All right, I'm going locust.
Tiebreaker, Christian.
You know what? I'm going to go with the lobsters on this one because I like an underdog, and I feel like the lobsters, like the locust, he's not scared. He thinks he's coming in, walking to this game thinking he's got it. Those lobsters are not just fighting for their lives; they're fighting for their freedom, and they're fighting for liberty, and they're going to unite together under a single flag.
They're going to unionize.
Yeah,
and
and
stick it to the lobster.
they're going to
the
be
locust.
they're going to fight.
Okay,
Everything
All right,
they
good.
got.
I love it.
You guys are wrong, but next question. I wish poems were all about exploring outside and nothing to do with math, computers, etc.
Thank you for sharing your thoughts.
And we're not making fun of
Yeah,
you.
we're
It just
not
kind of
making-
threw us
Yeah.
for a loop.
I agree.
I get
Yeah,
you.
those-
I get you, Ange.
Yeah, no, I don't even like poems. Millie 1011. Do you think with it being in Spanish it would relate to Spanish fork at all? We just said
Yeah, Millie,
that.
go to the Spanish fork. Spend all your
Okay.
time there. You'll find it. Just
And
joking,
then
Millie.
who is he and how old was he? When?
I think it's Brigham Young, but we'll talk about that later.
Do you?
I think it could be.
I feel like John and Dave usually try to stay away from LDS references.
Well, I mean, they did. This is the place monument, and
that's
It's a Utah
little
history.
more historical.
It's a Utah
Yes,
history
that's true.
thing.
Yeah.
more
This is
than-
the place. It's very religious. All right, cool. That's all the questions we had.
yeah.
Yeah.
Or someone
yeah.
said thoughts on the lobster being a red herring, which is
Someone
Ooh,
just said
that's
that.
pretty good.
I like it.
Lindsay Gummin. Lobster.
I mean, herring is a
that-
fish. A lobster's not a fish.
Oh,
It's a
lobster's a crustacean, but still.
Do we know
It's
how
herring
often they do
adjacent.
red herrings? Have we looked at that?
They have told us that they don't do red herrings. They
They
said
did. They did say that.
they
You're
said
right.
we say we do not
We don't
purposely
do-
mislead anyone. That being
Which
said,
I feel like that's
Mm.
misleading.
start your search with each cool morning. Yeah.
Sounds
you're
like
just
purpose-
warming up to the poem, just a little lead in for you. Kind of feels like a red herring to me. It was an orange herring. All right.
A couple. Yeah. Never mind. We'll get.
I just feel like, hey guys, this is our first episode for a while. We're warming up. We're trying to find our legs, our sea legs. So be patient with us. We're sorry this was an hour and a half. If you've missed us, then you probably enjoyed this, but it's been a long time.
Oh, the lights just went out.
Did that mean the power went out at our recording?
I don't know.
No, we still got power.
Oh, guys, the power's out.
We're
This is
still
fun. Should
All
we
right.
light some candles and play with boards?
Settlers of Catan.
Oh, that'd be so
Play
much
with
fun.
what?
No, like just play board games.
Oh, boards. I thought
Mhm.
you said boys.
Who was he and how old was he?
Okay, we're done.
Okay.
All right. Caden, take us away.
Thank you. On that note, thank you everyone for joining us. It's been a pleasure getting back into this. We're really excited to find the treasure and interact with you guys. So please share your solves, share your tips. We'll share them on the pod, and we're excited to get back out there. And as always, catch you on the next one outside.